Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Vlogmas episode. I don't know what. I hope I remember to put it on the screen. And today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I've been putting out there for Vlogmas. It is actually going to be a story time that I have been wanting to put out for quite some time, and I've been on the fence on if I wanted to do it or whatnot, but I think now is the right time since I am posting every day and I just thought you guys would really enjoy it. So fun fact, I'm actually from the East Coast, if you guys did not know. I was born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts, and I now live in Los Angeles, California. Now, it wasn't always like that, but I actually ended up moving out here when I was 19. So that's gonna be the story time for today. And when I tell you it is a very eventful story time, you guys are gonna see why. But let's sit back, get nice and cozy, good vibes, cozy vibes, and let's dive right in. So growing up in Boston, especially as a kid, I always knew that I wasn't gonna stay there for the rest of my life. And it's not because I didn't love my family, it's not because I hated out there. I just knew that I was never meant to stay there. If anybody's ever felt that feeling, but that was me when I was growing up. And honestly, I started saying I was gonna move to California like in elementary school, and people thought I was crazy. I just remember watching movies. I was obsessed with movies as a kid. Like literally anything my mom would put on, I would freaking watch. I remember, I wanna say 2006, 2007, I was really obsessed with singing. And obviously the biggest singing show at the time was American Idol. I loved American Idol, and seeing all the contestants go to Hollywood and it be this glamorous thing, I knew from a young age that I want to be there. And I don't know why. I had never been there. It was the weirdest thing, but I always would make it a point to tell people, one day I'm gonna be in California. One day I'm gonna move to California. But I really started getting more serious with the thought after I graduated high school, because obviously once you graduate high school, you're like, okay, what is next for me? That was such a question in my mind for a long time, especially senior year. And California kept coming to mind and kept coming to mind. I kind of pushed it to the back of my head because so many people made me like doubt myself that I just didn't think it could be attainable, you know? Cut to 2018, 2019, I start looking at airline jobs. I applied when I had just turned 18, and they denied me the first time. And I think they give you like a 6-month waiting period. So I was still 18 when I applied. And when I applied the second time, I actually got approved for the position. So I ended up getting a job with a major US airline, and it was truly the catalyst to kickstart all the change that has happened in my life since. You know, just working there for a few months, I was able to be in positions and places in the company that a lot of people were working years to get. And I don't know if it was because of my youth or whatever the case is, but I was very grateful for the opportunities I received at that job. And not only that, but the pay for a 19-year-old was just, well, I was 18 turning 19. They said that I was the youngest person in the company at the time. I don't know how accurate that is, but the pay was great. You know, I got travel benefits, healthcare, which healthcare in this economy, sign me up. Just so many benefits, and it was just such a blessing. So as my paychecks grew, my want to go to California grew. As I start working the airline job, the thought of California starts to come back into my head. We're now, let's fast forward to late 2019. It's really starting to kick into my head more. And so I kind of talked to my mom, and we just started randomly looking. Like my mom, shout out to mom, because she never looked at me like I was crazy when I said I wanted to go to California. She always supported my wishes, and if anything, she pushed me to go harder and to strive for more. And we were just looking for apartments, And I don't know if you guys have ever, like, if you've ever inquired for an apartment and kind of like threw away the key and forgot about it. That was me. So I inquired about the apartment I'm in now, and I honestly forgot I even inquired. So around Thanksgiving 2019, which guys, I think you guys could see where this is heading, but as we get to Thanksgiving 2019, I had gotten an email saying, hi, our building's not gonna be ready till January, February, but we'd love to offer you a unit. And I literally looked at my mom and was like, is this a scam? We initially thought it was fake, but I started Googling, doing my research, and I was like, oh no, this is very, very real. So I talk with her, we go back and forth. And the great thing about airline jobs is the flexibility. You can quite literally transfer and move to a different state tomorrow if you wanted to. I ended up getting the offer, submitted my information, gave them everything they needed. And like a week or two later, I got the approval, but the apartments weren't ready just yet. So I had my unit, everything was ready to go, obviously except for the apartments because they were still finishing up stuff. Fast forward to the beginning of 2020. The beginning of 2020, what a time to be alive. So around that time, we started watching the news and things of a virus came up on TV. None of us had experienced said virus, so nobody was thinking anything of it. I'm over here buying stuff from Home Goods, buying little trinkets here and there from Target. I had like 4 suitcases by the time March came because my move-in date was, I want to say March 7th. Whew, buckle up, boys and girls, buckle up. Around this time, they had started asking people to wear masks, and respectfully, I don't want to get sick. I'm grouchy when I'm sick. Give me the mask. Give me 2 masks. Give me 10. I will wear them. So I was wearing my mask, got on my flight. So the flights to go to LA were pretty full around the time that we were going. So we ended up taking a connecting flight because it was the only flight that would get us out around that time that wasn't full. So we went Boston to Buffalo and Buffalo to LA. So by the time we landed in LA, we get this phone call. They tried to say that somebody tried to break into our house while we were away. Mind you, my brother had stayed behind. Thank God he was not home. He missed it by this much. I guess the person who had tried to break into our house was a serial criminal and had broken into other people's homes, stolen stuff. The one house he didn't get into was ours. And if that's not God, I don't know what is. We land, we get that call, and I'm a little nervous because I'm like, what do we do? Do we go back? And my mom's like, no, this is your time. Like this, we're here for you. Like we'll figure it out when we get back. She's a real one. Mom, you're a real one. I know you're gonna watch this. Shout out to mom. Write mom in the comments. Mom, we love you. So we land and it was very tight in time. We didn't know how long it was gonna take us to get the rental car and how long the leasing office was gonna stay open. So when we landed and we got the car and everything, it was too late. We called, it was gonna be like a 40-minute drive from LAX to where we were going. So we had to find a hotel last minute. The plan was to land into LA, sign my lease and just stay in my apartment. Literally get an air mattress, stay in my apartment. So that didn't work out. We ended up getting a hotel in Burbank somewhere, I don't know. But it was really nice actually. I'll insert pictures of stuff as we go. So I didn't sign my lease on March 7th, but I signed my lease on March 8th. March 8th rolls around and we get there. When I tell you these 3 girls from Boston have never seen anything like this, had never seen an apartment building like this. It looked like a hotel. I thought that I was being pranked. The way that like, it's crazy. We literally get there and I literally have tears in my eyes because I'm like, dude, I didn't feel like I was worthy of this opportunity. Like, why me? I like, my imposter syndrome was so bad. Oh my gosh. I stepped foot in there and I was like, you know what? We're gonna be different. We're gonna do different. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try this out. Finally, the lady who I signed my lease with, she was incredible. I wish she was still there. I forgot her name because it's been so long, but she was such an angel, was just so nice about everything. You know, I was midway through signing my papers and she asked, have you seen any of the amenities? Have you seen your apartment? No. I signed my lease. I don't even know what I'm moving into. I could be moving into somebody's basement and I wouldn't know. I just signed my life away. Don't do that. If there's one thing you can take away from this video, don't make sure you view before you buy, okay? Make sure you preview before you jump, okay? Luckily, she offered to take me on a tour around the complex, and the more we started walking around, the more like my eyes started to well up. It felt too good to be true. Like, it felt like something out of the movies, truly, and exceeded my expectations, especially for a normal 19-year-old. You know, I'd never seen an Olympic-sized pool and rooftops with views of the whole city. Like, it is the most insane thing. We finally get to my door, and before I go ahead with anything, when my mom and I were buying decor for my home, I always knew from the very beginning, my theme, I want black, gray, and white. It's classy, it's timeless. One thing I was really nervous about, because I hadn't seen what I signed my life away to, was I don't know what color my apartment scheme is gonna be. I was viewing on their website that they had, you know, different color tile and different designs. So I was really nervous when she opened the door. She showed me how to do the key and open the door. I literally looked at my mom, she looked at me, and we just laughed a little like, this is for me. Literally, we walk in, everything's gray and white. White tile, gray cabinets, bathroom, white tile, gray cabinets. It just, when I tell you, everything in my body, if I could jump out of my skin at that moment, I would have, because I was just over the moon. I was just like, wow, like, this is such insanity. Like, this is such a blessing. You know, she showed me around the apartment. I realized I had a freaking patio. Hello? I have a whole outdoor space, which is insane. Not only do I have this gorgeous apartment, but now I have a space outside where I can just sit and watch the stars, or if I want to put a grill, I can grill. If I want to have friends over, which I didn't have or don't have right now, I could do that. Like, it was just, I'm still speechless because it doesn't even sound real, but it is my life, you know? So she left, we kind of just wind down, put things away, clean stuff up, and we were just embracing the space, you know? We went, grabbed some food, went to bed, and then the next day we went to Universal Studios. That was super fun. And then after that, we went home. And the plan was to come back in summer, because my job, there were no opportunities at the time to transfer out. So I was gonna have to be bi-coastal and go back and forth. And then the next week after we come back home, we go and officially announce that we're in a global pandemic. The government announces on TV that the US is in a state of emergency, that we're in a global pandemic, and that we all need to stay inside. And the quarantine order was issued. And I was mortified. I had just signed a 12-month lease not even 7 days ago, and you guys shut the world down. Do you see my heart breaking? When I tell you, I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I like, still to this day, I don't even know how we did that, but it is what it is. So we're just trying to figure it out, see what we can do. And then what we thought was gonna last a week turned into a month, turned into a few months, turned into a year. With the quarantine order staying in place, travel is decreasing. And because I worked in travel, specifically in aviation, travel was at an all-time low. It was at an all-time low. So they started offering temporary layoffs. So they had different packages. They would either, if you were at the company for a certain amount of time, you could retire early and they would give you a certain amount of money to retire early on top of what you already get. Or if you were not at that time just yet, you could take 3 months off, 6 months off, or 12 months off. Those were the 3 options outside of the retirement package. So I think I had initially took the 3-month one. I think that's what I did. Yes, I think I did 3 months. My mom did, I want to say 6 months, or she did 12 months. I don't remember. I regret not doing 12 months, but I'll cry about that later. So we both made a plan to take those months off, and we're gonna fly to California and spend the whole summer there. Because who's gonna stop us? Why not? There was nobody traveling. So honestly, if the planes are gonna be any cleaner than they are, it's gonna be now. Because nobody's on them, nobody's coughing on me, nobody's looking at me the wrong way. So let's do this. So that was April. We left the first week of June. So we had quite some time to prepare. You know, we were still shopping for home decor stuff. This time, now that we knew that I had a patio and whatnot, we were buying patio furniture. We were buying this, that, and the third. I even found a patio umbrella, which my neighbors messed up. I need to get a new one, but we'll talk about that another time. So literally me, my mom, her husband, my siblings, we all went and we stayed in my apartment. I don't even know how we fit in there, but we did. And we spent an entire 3.5 months in California. It was amazing. We were at the beaches. That's the thing, quarantine out here was just so fun. Whenever we would get cooped up in the house, we just would get up and go to the beach. We made the best out of quarantine for what it was. And I was just very grateful. I know the pandemic was not the best time, but it gave me a lot of time to be with family, to really experience life in California and get to know my surrounding areas without having to be disrupted in any way, shape, or form. It was truly a blessing in disguise, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. So that is pretty much this story time on how I moved to California by myself at 19. It's crazy. It is just insane. I've been here, it's gonna be 5 years in March. But thank you guys so much for watching this Vlogmas episode. I love you guys down, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.